Hi, I'm Joel Addis, and this is my personal goals video presentation for my non-degree endorsement in building leadership at Fort Hays State University. Just some personal information about myself. I'm currently the COVID-19 site coordinator for Derby Public Schools. I'm a former elementary special education teacher, and I've been married for 16 years to my wife, Angela, and we have three sons, Wilson, who's 11, Henry, who's 8, and Oscar, who is 6. My educational background, I graduated in 1997 from Derby High School. In 2005, I received my associate's degree from Butler Community College. And I followed that up with bachelor's and master's degrees from Wichita State University. And then after an 11-year break in school, I returned to Fort Hays State for this endorsement. When I look at my goals over the next for the future, in the next 1 to 5 years, I really would like to refocus on some healthy habits. I have, at one point, I had lost about 120 pounds. And when the pandemic hit, some of those habits were hard to continue. And so I've gained some of that back, but I really am feeling a need to refocus on that just because of how I felt during that time. We have an older home that we purchased knowing that it would need some improvements. And over the last 6 years, we have made some improvements to it, but just continue to work on that. And then also just always to be a good husband and good father. In the next 5 to 10 years, one thing that as our oldest has entered middle school, as my wife and I have really been focusing on, is helping him make that transition. And it's been a little bumpy. And so when I think about my younger two sons, as well as my oldest, just really being there for them as they work through the rest of their elementary careers and then middle and then high school. And part of that is being a good role model for them. Then really beyond 10 years, I feel like I'm a little older than some of the candidates in this program. And so, beyond 10 years, I will be in my 50s. And my plan, what my goal would really at that point be to be making some good financial choices so that we will be able to retire comfortably when that time comes. In terms of professionally, in the next 1 to 5 years, I'd like to gain an educational leadership position at a building level. I'm in a bit of a unique position, I think, because I'm serving as part of our district leadership team through my role as the COVID coordinator this year. But I'd really like to be a principal of an elementary building. And then during the next 5 years, I'd also like to complete my endorsement for district level educational leadership. And then in the next 5 to 10 years, transition into a role at that level. Really, I'm mainly interested in something related to special services. After spending 15 years as a special education teacher, that's something that is near and dear to my heart. And then beyond 10 years, just my goal is to continue in an educational leadership role. Then really, when I look at what drew me to Fort Hays State, I was drawn here honestly by the cost, but also the flexibility that the online program provided. And then it also came highly recommended to me by some colleagues who had moved into administration within my district, our assistant superintendent of human resources, our former special ed director, and several building principals all directed me this way. And then really my expectations for the program were that I'd gain some new knowledge, have a chance to interact with my colleagues in these courses as well as my instructors, and then also just have some opportunities to apply that knowledge in new ways. Honestly, as I get ready to enter my last semester in the program, those expectations have been met. I have truly enjoyed the experience that I've had going through these courses and have found a lot of value in it and am really excited for what comes next. Thanks.